We're live. Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly live. This week we are talking about weight loss and when you do stall out, when you are trying to lose weight and how frustrating it can be and why it happens and what you can do to get yourself unstuck. And so if you don't know who I am, my name's Cheryl. I've been in this industry for over 20 plus years. And I am on a weight loss journey or a journey for health myself. And I just like to inform people of some of the common things that we run into as we're struggling to to find our way to a healthier lifestyle. And I'll let Sandy introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Sandy, and I've been in the health and wellness industry for I guess it's been 10 years or so. And yeah, and I'm really passionate about helping people with their getting their health back and feeling good about themselves and supporting and helping. And yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for spending your time with us and your big waves to you. We're welcome to have you here. And yeah, you could be anywhere else. So whether you're in the recording or watching live, I welcome everybody.
Yes, so we might as well just get started. So we put slides just for talking points. It gives us a reminder of what we need to mention. So
Oh my
we've
God.
all been there, right? You're on the scale, you're taking off your rings, your watch, your glasses, the whole 9 yards.
This is so true, right?
Yeah.
This is so true. It has to be my earring. Oh, I take the watch off. Oh, I have some bobby pins in my hair. Let's take those out.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
It's so true. So cute.
All right, so this is for you if you have stalled out. So if you have been on a plan, a health journey, and your ultimate goal is to fit into your summer pants, or lose a few pounds, or maybe it's something that you just want to change your lifestyle, but you get to that point where you're just like it doesn't seem like anything's moving. You haven't lost any inches, maybe the scale isn't moving. And then frustration sets in. Well, there are reasons for it. We're going to go over some of the reasons and then some of the things that you can try to find your way out of there. So, second slide. Okay. So I'll go over this one. So weight loss stalls for several reasons, but one, it could be caloric intake. So this can go both ways. So if you don't have enough calories, your body can think it's in starvation mode and hold on to the calories that it has, or you have too many. And one of the things that all these kind of points go hand in hand. So what I always suggest is just keeping track of what you're eating, because you may be surprised of whether you are eating too much or too little. And you don't have to count calories per se forever, but it does give you a good indication of where you're at. And some good things are like if you have like a Fitbit watch, or some phones have apps as well that you can kind of put your food and stuff in there, and some you can even scan the barcode if it's like, I don't know, milk or cream or whatever, and it will tell you exactly what is in there and how many nutrients or protein powders or whatever it may be that you're having.
Yeah. And the thing about that too is if when you track it, if you're stalling or there's something going on, it's always easy to go back because you have written it down. Just you have someone helping you or whatever. You look back and you can say, oh, right. So it's easier to find the solution if you have things written down. I find, yeah.
Right,
And
exactly.
if you bite it, write it.
We should have put that on there.
Yeah, no kidding. I just thought about that.
Well, let's write that down so we don't forget it.
That was me. Too long ago. My genes.
Awesome.
And I love the little potatoes.
Adaption. So your body does get used to what it's doing. So I always call it homeostasis. Your body likes comfort and the easy route, and it does come accustomed to whatever it is that you're doing. So it's always good to switch up your routine. And this kind of goes with the exercise one below it too. So, if you walk everywhere, well, maybe go biking or walking, or um, you know. Shock your body and eat at different times, or do the intermittent fasting, just something that just kind of shocks your body. I found when I was doing weight loss, or trying to get in shape for a competition, I would stall like a plateau, and then I'd go have maybe not the healthy, I wouldn't say, it wasn't on my plan, but it was a meal. I had like protein and everything else, but I just added one thing into my meal that I don't normally have, and that was enough to kind of kickstart, because my body's like, oh, okay, something new. So you're just kind of switching that up, so your body doesn't really know what's going on. It sounds kind of funny, like your body has a mind of its own, but sometimes we think that it does.
It's like, okay, it's tricking me. Okay, I better do something else, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so again, the lack of exercise. So we have Mr. and Mrs. Couch Potato. So you could be on a certain calorie diet, or you're eating on a plan and you're eating certain foods, and it's all nice and healthy. But if you're plateauing, you might need to add some exercise, and usually some kind of weight bearing that you can increase your muscle, because that's more metabolically active, and that will kind of kickstart that as well. So yeah. So I try to be funny in the photos.
The other day, post-it notes. Yeah, hormonal changes too. Hormonal changes, as such as those associated with menopause, yay,
Yeah.
can make it harder to lose weight, which is so true. Oh my gosh. Stress can increase levels of the hormone cortisol, which can lead to weight gain and make it harder to lose weight. This
Yeah.
is so true, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, you know, like when you're 19, it seems like, oh, you can lose, get really 5 pounds, no problem. But
Soon as
no,
you,
no,
yeah, no.
right?
Soon as you hit those ages, either pre-menopausal, menopause, or post-menopausal,
Mhm.
each has its own difficulty, and it's really, yeah. So let's say you started, a program, and you got to a certain point, and then you plateau, um, and it's something you've done, like it's always worked, and
Yeah.
now it's not working. Chances are, again, I'm not a doctor, but chances are, it could be the hormonal changes, and I'm in that category, because I was like, what? Went to school for how long to learn this and this? What? So,
And then
and
it happens to you, it's like, what?
exactly, exactly.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
those can be some of the reasons why. I'm sure there are others. Sandy, you wanted to mention
yeah,
some?
and I mean, certain medications too,
Yeah.
right? It can also affect, can make it very challenging to lose weight. So, that can be a factor too, and talking to your doctor or your pharmacist or whatever, and it's yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, they could be thinking, well, what is it? And they may be on a certain pharmaceutical that actually inhibits you from losing weight, which can be even more frustrating and cause you more stress and give you
Right.
more hormone changes.
Right. Again, there goes that vicious cycle.
I know, right? So it's just a good another thing to be aware of because
Right.
I mean it's really hard not to get stressed out about it because it actually reverses the cycle. When you're stressed out about it, you're increasing your hormone and your cortisol, which makes
Yeah.
it's harder to lose weight. So then you're not losing weight, and so then you get stressed. So yeah, it's a vicious circle. So
Right. Exactly. What can you do to break your plateau? So we're going to go over some tips that can definitely help. So the first one is reducing your carb intake. Um, so it can help get you moving in the right direction. So there's been studies that show that 50 fewer grams of carbs, um, I think it's per day, lost people had lost more weight than a traditional diet plan. So even if you look at a meal and you have a carbohydrate, just make sure there's one on your plate and not multiple. Like if you're let's say um, I mean, it depends on whatever diet plan or nutrition plan that you're on. Let's say you have spaghetti and then you have a bun. Well, you would only have one of those.
exactly.
Or if you have, let's say, steak and vegetables, wine is your carb. Like that is it. There is no other carb. You know,
No.
so just by removing one or making even a smaller portion would
Mhm.
have
Yeah,
like an impact.
yeah.
Then so it doesn't have to be like again, it depends on what your program, what your eating plan is,
Mhm.
and there are different types of carbohydrates. There's the starchy and non-starchy. Vegetables are carbohydrate, but they're a different one than the starch. So we're talking about like the starchy type, like potato or rice, things like that. And then the next one,
What can you do to break your plateau? We just said reducing your carb intake
yeah,
may help get your weight moving in the right direction again when you
yeah,
feel hopelessly stalled.
right.
Revving up your exercise regime, right?
Yeah.
May help reverse a weight loss plateau. This is because unfortunately your metabolic rate slows down as you lose weight.
Right.
No, don't say it's true.
So that's why it's really important to be active and to
Mhm.
move your muscles.
Yeah,
Even if like in last week we talked about intermittent fasting, and even if you have those days where you have limited calories, it's the days where you have like you're eating your full time window, but you're eating your your calories. Those are the days where you could be building muscle, whether it be light weights, using bands, just your body weight. It doesn't matter. You want to move your muscle. You don't have to go to the gym and pump iron. That may or may not be your thing, and that's totally fine.
right. Yeah. Just doing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Starting slow too.
Yep.
So reducing your carb intake may may help get your weight moving in the right direction again when you feel hopelessly stalled. Revving up your exercise regime, which we just talked about, may help
Mm-hmm.
reduce a weight loss plateau. This is because unfortunately your metabolic rate slows down as you lose weight. And three, I know, just like
Yeah.
what track what you're eating. So
Yeah.
sometimes it may seem as though you're not eating that much, but yet still have difficulty losing weight. Overall, researchers have reported that people have a tendency to underestimate the amount of food they eat. It's so true. That's why I say if you bite it, write it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the funny thing too is when you start writing, it also you become more aware of what you're actually choosing and eating, and it also is good because you can see how much more you're eating. I don't know. I've seen people they say, "Oh yeah, well I know I'm not eating much." And so I said, "Okay, go track for a few days." Track. So they start tracking, and I'm looking. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Right? Because the meals and then the little snacks here. Well, I only had, 3 pieces of cheese. I only had a few of these, a few of those, whatever. So it really, really is important that you track. Just and you're also developing a healthy habit, right? So I mean, not that we're saying you have to track forever, but it gives you a healthy habit here because mentally you're focusing on what it is you are eating, and it's giving you that habit of choosing the right things.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get a picture of us doing that.
I think so.
So up your protein. So protein boosts your metabolic rate more than either fat or carbs, and it has a thermic effect of food. That can't speak. um, so you basically it stimulates your hormone, and it makes you feel fuller longer. And obviously, people trying to build muscle are upping their protein as well. So there's really benefits to that. So make sure you do have protein at every meal. And
Mhm.
there's so many times that I see people, or I have done it in the past, where there is no protein to be found, or there's only protein to be found. But yeah, generally, it's a good rule of thumb if you are like stuck, and is to increase that protein.
Yeah, and you know, kind of a hack is to eat your protein first
Yeah,
and then eat the rest of your meal because your protein it takes longer for it to for your body to digest the protein. So what happens is you feel full faster, quicker if you eat all your protein first and then you eat your vegetables and things like that. So
yeah,
that's yeah. So
yeah, yeah. Protein and vegetables, just pair them together. Have your
yeah,
greens.
yeah, right, yeah. And it's funny because I was there doing making a stir fry and I thought, yeah, I want to eat my protein first. So I'm picking out my chicken.
Oh,
I'm eating the chicken first, right?
yeah,
Oh,
this is really good for picky eaters. You just got to eat your protein first.
and I'm thinking, well, maybe I should have just had a boiled egg first and then ate my, eat the boiled egg for protein and then eat my stir fry. Yeah,
Oh, the
I'm
things you. Oh my goodness. So at the bottom there, so after the protein, number 5 is including more fiber. And I think it's at the very bottom there. Um, Basically, it promotes weight loss and uh, slows down the movement of food through your digestive tract, so you again feel fuller longer. And fiber is good for you anyway, for a variety of reasons. But again, this is one of those things. If you're in the plateau and you're like, "Oh, what can I do?" These are just some tips and tricks you can try to implement to get things going where you want them to go.
that's right. You want to go with the flow.
Which will
And
happen when you have more fiber.
exactly. And make sure you're drinking lots of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you drink a bunch of water before you eat, that
Hmm.
also helps. So you
Yeah,
get full, but staying
exactly.
hydrated is really important.
Yeah. All right. And this one's a big one, and we talked about it last week. Intermittent fasting. So I'll go over briefly again some ideas. So there's again different types. You can watch last week's episode, but there's different types. There's like timing. Um, uh, there's calorie 5 and 2. So 2 days are lower calorie um, types of fasting, and then there's like the 8 hour window that you can eat and only in that window, and then what is it, 8, is it 8 and 16? Yeah, isn't it 8 and 16?
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm getting it in my head.
So
Very true.
okay, what time of day do you normally eat? You start at 11
Uh, I start at noon
noon to
with the
7.
fasting, and you finish at seven.
Yeah. So those are where you would have
those
your
7 hours, really.
your meals in that period of time.
Yeah,
And
right.
so it helps for like a lot of reasons. Uh, yeah, it gets rid of like wasted cells. You go into your ketones, you start burning off fat as opposed to um, glucose or glycogen. Instead of the sugar in your muscle, you you start to burn off your fat stores on a regular basis. So um, it helps your plateau. Some people they'll eat like this from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sundays are free for all. So, some people will be like the Monday. You don't want to have your 2 days of the low calorie. You want to cycle them. So we'll have like say Monday and Thursday, and the rest are in that window. You have like your plan, and just by even this is one of those things like we talked about earlier where you're kind of jarring your system. This is a shock to your system. Your body's like, okay, what's going on? And then it starts to go, oh, okay, I'm using fat as fuel now. And we'll, so this will definitely well, I shouldn't say definitely, but most likely will help start your engine revving again. Losing the pounds or the weight or feeling better or fitting into your pants or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any tips or tricks or any things you want to say about interesting
Yeah.
things about that you learned?
Oh gosh, there's so many. Intermittent fasting. Yeah, I had never done intermittent fasting before this 28-day challenge, and I was quite surprised. The first couple of days that um, I was I was hungry, right? And then as I got into the program, I realized that I'm not as hungry as I was, right? And I know that, and I found that kind of surprising. I'm thinking, oh, there's no way I'm going to die of starvation if I do, But so that was really a learning experience, and just the feeling that you have, how you felt better and better, and your body just felt better and better as you were going along with the program. And the intermittent fasting, it just I don't know, it just really revved up the releasing of the weight. It just
Yeah,
was amazing. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, incredible.
exactly. So yeah, it's a definitely good place to kind of get out of that plateau, and
Mm.
you can
Oh
make
yeah.
and most this is the thing when you start something like this, you the first 3 days it's almost like your body's detoxing, and it's going to
Mm,
try to go back to its comfort level, and it's going to say, oh, you're hungry, you're hungry, you're hungry,
mhm.
because it's used to it, and it does take that 3 days, and
Yeah.
sometimes you have to adjust. For me, it was more like I had to add a little bit of fat in there. I had to add a little bit more protein because, but I kept track, so I knew that okay, well, this is why I'm feeling hungry. I shouldn't be feeling hungry, and then you just adjust as needed.
Mhm.
But once you're on there, then you can walk by a bakery and not want to go in.
I
Right?
know. That's so
And
crazy. But
I
yeah.
always find too that I have way more energy, way longer. Like it's
Yes.
almost harder to go to bed because like, oh, I could be cleaning the house right now. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. 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 For sure.
But anyway, moving on. So these are some other things we just didn't have a lot of time to kind of delve into, but you know, drinking water. Are you drinking enough water? Muscle is mostly water, so you need to have that to flush out everything. Your intestines, your everything.
Mhm.
And we on the other like we talked about stress. Well, sleep helps. If you have good quality sleep, then stress and sleep. We had a little blurby on that a little while ago. So you want to make sure you have good quality sleep. And if you're not sure how to do that, you need help, let us know. uh, Eating vegetables, they're good. They're a good colon cleanse, that's for sure. Um, Being active, daily activity. You know, you can always, if you're somewhat active but not, and you're still at that stage where you are plateauing, you know, if you walk daily, maybe challenge yourself to walk an extra 1,000 steps. Or if you only walk 3 days a week, say I'm going to walk 5 days a week. So just increasing that exercise, whatever it may be, will help. No one wants to see the next one. You can avoid it except for weekends, right?
Yeah,
Well, I always say just avoid it for as long as you can.
yeah.
There's going to be occasions when you do go out or indulge, but just everything in moderation. And if it's important to you, like wherever you are, and if your sticking point, um, then just avoid it. Just as like my personal experience, I did a fitness competition years ago, and my birthday fell in between my training period, and I knew I was going to go, have a birthday beverage. And I had my own trainer, and he said, just know that it's going to set you back 3 days. So just know it'll set you back 3 days.
Yeah.
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 The big one, Sandy,
Pardon me?
the last one.
Oh, yeah, and don't rely on the scale alone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your what you're wearing, your pants, your just dress or whatever it is, um, really shows. Like, because you'll lose inches too. I was saying before the 28 gallons, I had two pairs of jeans. Well, I had most of my summer pants. It was like, ain't happening, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And my jeans, like I say, screaming jeans,
Yeah.
and and I got them up and on, and as the 28 days went on, I couldn't believe it, right?
Yeah.
So your clothes are also a good scale, if you want to say, of how you're doing, because you'll notice that you may be baggy in the thighs, or oh gee, in the backside, whatever, and starting in the waist. Yeah, so just don't rely on the scale. Both
Right.
are really important, because sometimes you may not be losing. Um, you might have days where it's all here, 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 but then you're losing inches. So then when you try on those pants, you go, oh, and then all of a sudden you feel, oh, okay, well, this is pretty good, right? So
Yeah.
it's good to do both, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, doing photos, and then people may notice,
Mhm. Yeah,
wherever you, um, wherever you tend to gain or lose weight, that's usually where, your body will kind of, wherever you lose it first or gain first, like you usually that's kind of where you see it first.
yeah,
I do remember when I was I was training people, and they would plateau, and I would tell them this: when you gained your weight, you gained it slowly, right? Like, let's say you were 150 pounds, then you were 160. Well, you stayed there for a while, right? Right?
hmm,
And
right,
then you went up, and then you stayed there for a while. The same thing happens when you go down. There's going to be those sticking points. And
right.
then all of a sudden, let's say you're at a certain weight for, I don't know, or wait, let's say we'll say weight in inches for 10 days, 2 weeks. All of a sudden, bam, and I'll go down, and you'll be like, what the heck?
Yeah,
Right?
you're doing the same thing, and yeah,
It goes backwards the same way it went up.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and I that's just from me noticing it, and through
Mm,
like clients of mine and everything
yeah,
else.
great,
And
great.
that's exactly it. And it's usually that little cartoon where someone's, digging a hole, like underneath the earth, and someone gives up just before they get to the big prize. Well, same idea, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You might just be
exactly.
giving up just when the moment when everything's going to just start going. So don't give up. Speaking of don't giving up and support,
Yeah.
ta-da!
Yay!
So there's been mention of it. 28-day challenge. Um, Sandy's done phenomenal. She's down a pant size, as she's mentioned. We say today's the last day because it is a product based, that help assist you, to get the best results in the 28 days. um, And if you can't miss, if you're seeing this on a replay and, oh, you lucked out, or you missed out, whatever, there will be other challenges. So please just message us and let us know.
And
Um, but yeah, and you can just go over the results your group had, kind of to see that it actually is possible.
yeah, and if you really want to join this one, if you're really, just message us anyway, and we'll see what we can do for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't like turning people away, but yeah, just message us anyway, and we can figure some things out and how to get things to you and stuff like that in a quicker fashion. Um, it really was a really learning experience for me the first 28. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot. It was a lot about my body, and just so many. It was really rewarding, and you really become aware of so many things. So I found it was really good, really amazing. I like myself. I lost 11.2 pounds and 25 inches in 28 days. It's like, and a lot of that, like almost 17 inches of that, was in the midsection.
Yeah.
So I was really delighted, and when I put my all tried on all my pants from now, you got your favorite jeans. Oh, I
Yeah.
know, those favorite jeans. Like,
And
yeah.
and were these results typical?
Well, there was 40 of us,
Yeah.
and yeah, so collectively we lost 436 pounds
Yeah.
collectively with 40 people.
Yeah.
So yeah, people lost inches, and everyone lost weight and inches. So yeah, it was really, and doing it together was so great because you learn so much because someone else has something, and then you learn, hey, oh, yeah, okay. And then they answer that question. Maybe you don't want to ask that question. They ask that question, they go, oh, yeah, I was going to ask that question. Oh, that's really good. So you really help each other, you support each other, you learn a lot, and we have fun too. You know, like we tell jokes along the way, and it really is a really supportive, close community where we really help each other and cheer each other on. Like today was the 28th, so we're all like cheering each other. Everybody's high fiving. We're just yeah. It's a great feeling when you're all like minded, wanting the same results, and you're all helping each other, and you get there. I'll
Yeah.
get there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was really,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So the kind of the premise is there's a approved food list. There's no list, but there's an approved food list. You do fasting to really get you in that fat burn. Your products assist you, so helps with cravings,
Mhm.
hormonal balance. There's protein powder for meals if you need. Now you don't have to do everything, but obviously the whatever fits um, your lifestyle sort of thing. But we want you to be successful. So yeah, if you want more information, just holla at us. Holla, holla, holla back, girl.
Yeah.
And it's open to anybody. And how many people? 6 people.
Pardon
We're
me?
looking. We're looking for 6 people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
We'd
that
like
would
to
be
have six.
great. Yeah, so I mean, it's just enough so that you're comfortable with each other. It's a smaller group, so it's not overwhelming if you have like, I mean, if there's 200 in a group, it's pretty overwhelming, right? So if you
Yeah.
got 6 people, it's private, it's confidential. Everybody is, so it's a really good atmosphere, and you feel more comfortable with each other, and yeah, we by the end we like you know best buds, right? Because we're helping each other and stuff like that. So, and I think, I mean, the challenge is for men and for women. But when you stick together, when women stick together and they accomplish a goal, it's just like there's no stopping us, right? But
Mhm.
men are also welcome too because they have challenges as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's getting getting your health back is so important. There's so many people out there that are struggling with their health, um, you know, and we have a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And yeah, so just message Cheryl or myself, or put something in the comments. Say Cheryl.
Yeah. Just put you
Yeah,
know, challenge or info in the
yeah,
comments
yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
And
rather
yeah,
than
and we'll have other ones too,
yeah.
right? Because we're here to help. So if you go to 28, you can go to another 28, whatever, depending on what your health challenge is, or whatever is your, we help you find your solution, and we get you there, and yeah, together we rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
so
winner.
let's be fabulous.
With that,
Let's
yeah,
be
you're
fabulous.
you're a loser, but you're a winner.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And just in case you missed it, it's $25 to join, but there's prizes.
Yes. So, and depending on how many people are in, like, on the separate groups, how many we are together, then there would be, yeah, that will just show what the prizes are, because we had 47 people. Our prize was first prize was $1,000.
Yeah.
So it depends on how many collectively we get. But it's a lot of fun. These weights, summer's coming, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready now. It's like putting on
So
my,
if you start
yeah,
now,
yeah.
then you'll be ready for the May long weekend.
Good point. Right?
Yeah. So start now.
Yeah,
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 and
yeah.
be ready. Bikini
Yeah.
ready. Woohoo.
Just take that step, and yeah, just say it, because it's your turn to look after you. It's your turn.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
exactly. And with that, we wish you the best today,
Yeah. Thanks for
tomorrow, and
joining us.
always. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining us.
yeah,
And
and
yeah,
contact us, and yeah, we're here to help, and do whatever we can to help you to
all right.
succeed. Right.
Awesome. All right. Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Yeah.